Well, hello. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us once again. You are here on the Vivacity Esports channel for another Vivacity Masters Division matchup. I am your host, broadcaster, leadcaster, person who doesn't actually understand how what I'm doing works, but still manages to make it work unchanged. And I will be along with you for the ride as we watch our Vivacity Masters roster in their 7th match of their first season in Masters Division. They are facing off today against Wink, who are currently 2-3 on the season. So Vivacity will be hoping to pull out another win and keep their position at the top of Masters Division. And I will be with you for the rest of this series while we see if they can. We're just waiting for the teams to get in for the first map. And then I will be able to let you know what our first map and the bans are. Before we get underway, thank you to everyone already in the chat, Blue Jay, Warden, and our amazing new head of social media, CK Pineapple. Thank you very much, everyone. I can confirm our first map of the night is going to be Lijiang Tower, picked by Vivacity. Fortunate again to get that first map pick, and that is to, as always, our first map being Control. So we will wait and see. I can say I did see the first ban come in from Vivacity, but I'm still waiting to see what the second ban is. I don't get to see the second ban until I get invited into the game as a broadcaster. So we will wait to see on that front. Hope everyone's having a good day. Hope everyone's excited. And while I remember, for anyone that is here and anyone that is watching this later on, whether it be through the VOD on Twitch or on YouTube, where this later gets uploaded, remember, follow us on all social medias. That is YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and maybe at some point soon coming to you live on TikTok. Well, not live, because I don't think I'll be streaming to TikTok, but let's see. At least coming to you in highlight form. But for now, YouTube, Vivacity_esports, Twitter, X, at Vivacity OW, as you see on that right hand side of the screen. And obviously follow us here if you aren't already, to see what the current, I'm going to call this, I'm going to brag and say top team in Masters Division, at least top 2 team in Masters Division, to watch every match live here on the Vivacity Esports channel. Hey, shout out to the org owner, the originator of the Vivacity org, my former teammate. The guy who somehow put up with me coaching. Chi! And I'm not going to say his full name for reasons I will keep to myself. Definitely not just because I don't entirely understand how to pronounce it, and I say it differently every time I say it. Anyone give me the phonetics on that one? remember when I used to get. I remember when I used to do professional broadcasts. You know, where people would pay me and they would yeah, and the they would give me a full sheet of the breakdown of every player that was involved in a tournament, and they would have the phonetic breakdown and pronouns. I remember when I used to think I would do this stuff professionally. Anyway, enough about the old man sat in his yard shouting at clouds. Let's have a look at the bands. And little bit surprisingly, I will say, I mean, not entirely surprisingly, obviously, I assume they want to get a quick start, but still somewhat surprisingly, Wink have already banned the Mauga. Vivacity did, of course, ban the Pharah, but Wink already pulling out the Mauga ban, in my opinion, little bit early on that one. So will be interesting to see how that goes for the rest of the match. That means almost for sure Vivacity going to be able to run Mauga in every other map at the very least, which I know for a fact our team will not be upset with. Obviously, as you know, with me having the second ban, that does mean we did get our match invite. So we are heading into the game now. And we have Marcus the Reaper. The Reaper guy is in. As Eevee on the Wrecking Ball for Wink. Temper on that Venture, already having to dig themselves out of a little bit of danger. So it is the Zarya, Venture, and Reaper team comp. Huge slam comes out. Bubble onto Fern to keep the flex support alive. Morlock pushed low and off the map, but being the Lucio, they're able to keep themselves alive. Fern is getting harassed though, has to TP back onto point, gets killed by Mickman. Vivacity locking it down on point. Marcus does get a trade, but Saint X immediately, so no supports online for Vivacity. Marcus, huge damage on the Reaper's Axe, helps take down Eevee. Just Mickman and the supports, they do take down Axe, but Marcus locking it down on point. Temper coming back to kill Saint X. And with Fern getting that nice kunai headshot onto Narakato, it is Vivacity getting the first cap and locking it down on first point. Temper, once again, early on the engage, digs themselves out of danger here. Ooh, apologies for that, bumping my mic. And here we go. Marcus on the Reaper. I've been waiting to see some Reaper gameplay from the Reaper guy all season. Freya swap coming out from Narakato as the TP comes in from Marcus. In the back line, still 300 HP. The rest of the fight's going on over here. Fern dealing with Navilia on the opposite side. Or Navia. Possibly. That sounded a bit Nordic. Marcus still aggressing. As to Ray form Axe coming in to help finish off Eevee. As now Marcus wanting to get onto Narakato, but does have Saint X there in the back line. Mikeman trying to harass on the objective, but opts to back out. Temper now trying to deal with Saint X. I see them low HP over there on the off angle. Can Temper secure that kill? Has to fall back into point, but that does mean Saint X is somewhat away from their team. We now see the minefield on point. Narakato takes down Morlock. That's both supports down for Vivacity. It's going to get to 99% before the swap comes out. There's the flip eventually. Only ult used there by Vivacity was Tempers, so they do have 4 ults online. Saint X though with their ult along with Nanakato and Navia, does mean there will be 2 ults as well to follow up. There's the ult onto Meekman to allow that engage. Dig from Temper. Nanakato takes them down with the Freya Bolo shot. There's the grab. Doesn't capture anyone in it from Axe. Malgaman not doing so well on the Zarya. Fern taken down by Eevee. Mickman comes in. Navia comes in again. Saint X. So Wink once again able to lock it down. Temper harassing, opting to back out. Axe now on the Diva. Going to be trying to absorb a bit more of that damage from Narakato, I'm sure. Not allow that Freya spam to come in quite so readily. Marcus coming in. Temper with the dig, just zoning. Does back out. Recall already forced out of a Mickman. Down to low HP as Vivacity once again trying to rotate back towards the point. Marcus with the Death Blossom does clear the minefield but doesn't do anything else. Now Fern getting the kill onto Mickman, but it's all Wink once more here. Temper does trade Eevee, but once again off the back of some clean ults. Wink able to secure another fight, and Vivacity now with no ults online, having to run into the Bolo shot of Narakato is going to be hard for them here. TP in from Marcus. Narakato low, ults out, manages to get the HP to keep them alive. Axe goes in, takes them down, but Navia takes down Marcus. Meekman, force low, has to retake back, but Navia takes down Temper as well. Morlock trying to contest on point. Eevee and the rest of the team collapse onto Axe. And after going 99-0, with Marcus just now stalling, no one else from Vivacity going to be able to respawn in time. And that is first point in favor of Wink. So not quite the start we'd have been hoping for from our Vivacity roster. But at the same time, this is how they started the last game, and they ended that one with a quick, decisive 3-0. So we shan't concern ourselves too much. Now let's get underway with our next point. Still on the Diva from Axe. Temper now on the Tracer. Narcado on the Soldier, and Axe with a boot on Saint X, as we now see Temper coming in on the Tracer in that backline. TP from Marcus as well as Fern finding a way onto the kill feed. We like to see that from the Kiriko, the flex support player. Marcus here holding up quite close as you'd expect on the Reaper. There is a ball on point. TP in, aggressive from Marcus. Now the re-engage, trying to deal with Saint X, but Axe cannot stay long enough to help them. Saint X does survive. Temper finds Mickman, but Eevee has already killed Fern. The flex support down. Axe and Temper do collapse onto Narakato though, so the fight is now even. Apologies. Point flip did come out for Wink though. Eevee looking to try and stall for a bit longer. Vivacity will eventually get the flip back in their favor and then lock it down on point once more. Eevee now looking for that off angle as Marcus engaging Once again, Temper dealing with McMahon in that backline. There's that Tracer duel. Wrecking Ball from Eevee going crazy as we see Vivacity trying to collapse on that backline, but Nadocado takes down Morlock, slides away from Marcus, takes them down as well. Fern does finally get them, but then Saint X trades it out immediately, and Vivacity going aggressive into that backline, and somehow Saint X, Navelia, and Nadocado surviving that one pretty well. So now the cap comes out. See Nadocado on the soldier, nearly has that rail gun ult, so the overclock almost online. EVE takes down Morlock, and Navelia takes down Temper, so once again it's all Wink in the kill feed. Locking it down on point once again. Denying these engages from Vivacity succinctly so far. Nadocado forced low, but slides out, and then the ults come online to keep them alive, but then the re-engage. Marcus takes down Saint X. Axe comes in to finish off Nadocado. Kitsune from Navelia as the fight's almost over. Axe eating the pulse bomb from Mickman. And once again, this should be a Vivacity fight win, as they have to burn down through the health pool of Eevee, and they managed to do just that and flip the point back in their favour once more. Lots of ults still online for Vivacity, as Fern's Kitsune Rush was the only one invested into that fight. Both support ults for Wink were burnt in that one. As we see the TP. Marcus zoning very well, along with Axe. Beat from Morlock. Flip of the objective did occur. I'm sure that was Mickman coming in to the backline. Eevee now trying to stall more time out to allow the engage from Wink. Eevee very low. Morlock takes him down. Death Blossom in from Morlock. Or Marcus, sorry, Morlock on the Lucio getting that initial kill, but then Marcus, the Reaper guy. Death comes to all. Well done, Marcus. Now just trying to lock it down on point. There is the minefield from Eevee. Marcus having to Wraith form their way out of that. Axe force low. Vivacity now trying to just stall, deny the flip from Eevee. Marcus on point. Axe takes down Saint X, who's now on the Lucio. Eevee trying to chase down Marcus, but he got back to his supports. Temper wins the Tracer duel. Marcus then takes down Eevee. Nadocado has to slide through on the point to get the overtime. Wick burning. They're going to surely get chased down by Morlock and the rest of Vivacity, and they do just that after they'd finally taken out the Kiriko. So here we go. 1-1. Take it to a point 3. Vivacity not going down without a fight here on our first map. Hotly contested matchup so far. Both teams looking good in their own rights. And Vivacity holding out quite well. Especially Axe on the tank, considering his Mauga was denied. No TP from Vivacity, so it will likely be a bit of aggression from Wink as they get that quick rollout. Temper dealing with the Tracer Curie on that off angle. Marcus and Morlock in Temple. Gonna deny the engage from Eevee. Does manage to keep themselves alive with that Mega, but Nadocado had been dropped by Temper already, so Vivacity do indeed get that first lockdown on the point. As we see Temper trying to mark Mickman. I hear the ball engage coming in, but Navelia dropped low. There's the Suzu invested already as Temper takes them down. Now the ball tries to re-engage, but they've got no flex support healing left. Temper, good zoning on this off angle. Marcus finds Mickman. Pulse bomb out, hits Naticado. And they drop as well, so Vivacity holding on to the objective for even longer here. Temper still locking down White Room on the Tracer. Morlock coming over to help them now as Mickman and Navilia are there. They do have the Kitsune Rush online. There's the slam from Eevee. Temper alone, contesting on point. Does have to do with Mickman, but there's the engage from Vivacity. The early Kitsune Rush gets them in aggressive, but Wink opting to play around point. Now Naticado has the Bolo online, comes in, gets eaten by Axe. Good job there on the Diva. Boot comes out from Morlock, but they keep alive. Marcus does take down Eevee, who had used the minefield on point. Now Marcus TPing in onto Naticado with the help of Fern. Saint X ults on themselves, stuns Marcus, doesn't take them down though, and the beat to contend on the engage. Fern takes down Saint X now. Kitsune Rush on point from Wink, but Vivacity still have the ascendancy as Marcus TP's back in. Axe low but alive, takes down Mickman. Navilia finds Temper, so both Tracers traded out of this fight. Now we're into overtime. Last fight territory. Axe takes down Naticado, coming back on the Sojourn. Death Blossom still available for Marcus here. They just need to keep Wink off the objective. Trying to burn through the health pool of Eevee. Their Force Low going to be going off to get that Mega. Now Marcus still contending against that bull, kills them, takes them down. No one else from Wink able to touch, and Vivacity, after unfortunately giving up a 99-0 on the first point, take 2 consecutive points to follow it up. Marcus gets to play the game, and they win the map. You see, there's TP in, there's that Death Blossom from Marcus. Huge play there from our Reaper specialist. And now we wait to get underway with the second match. Wow, already quick with the next map and the first ban. I can confirm we will be heading to a little bit of Italy, heading out to the home of Vendetta over on Rialto. And again, a tank ban coming out from Wink, opting to ban out the Diva. We'll wait and see what the retaliatory ban from Vivacity is once we get in to the map. Just waiting for the lineups to be finalized at the moment. Hope everyone enjoyed. Warden Lucio Kiri, unfortunately, as a support player, it is aggressively hard meta, and you do kind of get punished at times for not playing it. Dizzy, shout out though. Indeed. You know, I wouldn't say the most unique, but certainly a unique team. Waiting on the Reaper van after that from Marcus. Yeah. Proving why Reaper is such a threat. And proving why we have a specialist in the team. CK. CK with a 5. Gifted. I see my man Luke in there in the gifts. Shout out. East Pac-Man as well. Shout out, shout out, shout out. What's that? How many gifted subs is that now, CK? Huge. Thank you so much. 15 gifted subs to the channel from our incredible social media manager. Greatly appreciated. Shout out. Yeah, Diva banned indeed. Certainly interesting. Can confirm the bans though. The retaliatory ban from Vivacity was against the Wu Yang that we saw from Saint X a lot in that last map. Guys, there's a hype train. Do you know what I can do to make the hype? I feel bad. I'm going to do this. This is late. So again, I do apologise. I believe, if I can find it, I have a cheeky little promo. There you go. There's a gift sub promo code applied to the Vivacity Esports channel. Giving us a cheeky 35% off. I do apologise, CK, that I didn't remember that that was available until after you had already gifted those subs. But it is still greatly appreciated. You know, it's even more appreciated, actually, that you did it without me even remembering to apply the discount code. But there you go. If anyone else is feeling generous, there's a 35% discount now on any gift subs to the Vivacity Esports channel. And they are, as always, greatly appreciated. Reminder, all money made by the teams, by the streams, anything that we do, all immediately, along with a lot of money out of certain people's pockets, G and Chris in particular, is all invested back into the Vivacity Esports org, distributed across our teams for various coaching, graphics. They paid for the stream package that I'm currently using initially, all things like that. So, gifting anything that you do goes a long way into helping support the teams and giving it and allowing us to give them the best opportunities we can to progress throughout the season. CK again. Yo. Taken gets one. Dizzy gets one. Blue Jay, shout out. There we go. Incredible. Thank you so much. And before I get distracted, let's not do what I did in map 3 of the last match. Let's get into the game. It is Vivacity on the defense first. Now, the blue side. Marcus in on the Emre. Temper on the Tracer. Axe is currently running the Hazard. Woo! Mickman on the Echo. Low. Temper able to come in and finish them off. Huge plays there. Nice way to set up that first fight. Care in the bubble. Axe is low and they are dropped. Unfortunate. Now Marcus trying to get away. Temper does drop. But Vivacity will be looking to reset. Let's see, can Vivacity hold? Well, not going to be so easy with Morlock already down and Axe this low. Marcus does find Nadicado, but once again, Axe not able to escape Eevee's bubble. And Vivacity now opting to just die on point for that quick reset. Temper looking to be a nuisance on the Tracer still, but that's first point already given up by Vivacity. Now swapping over to the Mauga from Axe. Temper has to recall after blinking through the Sojourn E. Do now see Axe running in. Gets hit with that anti, but then Suzu brings them straight back up as they now burn through Eevee's armor on the monkey. Slam in. And surviving well there. Oh my god. CK. 10 gifted. 30 gifts on the channel. Temper with a nice pulse bomb. There we go. Mickman with the copy after getting the kill onto Morlock. Eevee then takes down Axe. Marcus comes in with the Emre ult, taking down one. Takes down the copy from Mickman as well. Does get burnt out, but if Fern can trade this kill, it would stall it out well. Now Temper, with the help of Morlock, can try and zone Eevee off the objective. Axe back in as well, so Eevee jumping out does have the Primal Rage available, and Amelia up with them. Temper recalls out after seeing the rest of Wink get back. Always hate this part of Rialto. Everyone's all on different angles here. Eevee, Primal engage. Trying to deal with Marcus on the Emre. Gets booped away. Can't take them down. Saint X with the rally engage now. After taking down Axe. Allows Wink to sustain the aggression here. Temper gonna have to back out and look for the reset. Nadicado marking them out of this fight. Axe already back though. He's gonna look to try and fight around point. With Temper coming back in. Overclock though from Nadicado. Going to be a lot of damage coming out here. Be engaged. They get Nadicado low, but not down. Everyone for Wink dangerously low, but crucially not out of the fight here. Anti onto Axe. Sleep onto Axe. Suzu comes out to keep them alive. Pulse Bomb comes out. Hits two from Temper, as well as Marcus and the rest of Vivacity cleaning that fight up. Well done there. That was a huge amount of damage from the Tracer Pulse Bomb of Temper there. Great way to set the fight up. So Eevee on the Wrecking Ball now. Saint X on the Kiri. Boop out. Denies the slam from Eevee. As Fern pumping damage into the Wrecking Ball before TPing to safety themselves. Temper takes down Nadicado. Nano on to Mickman. Does have the copy online. Now goes for the copy onto the Mauga. Fern with the Kitsune Rush. They burn through Mickman though. Temper wins another duel against Saint. And Vivacity investing 2 ults into that fight to match Wink. Able to hold on, but Nadicado taking down Fern there. A little bit of over-aggression from the Vivacity roster, losing their Kiriko. Mickman on the Pharah now instead of the Echo. Fern is back before the fight starts. Temper nearly takes down Mickman, but then gets traded. Marcus engaging early with the Emery ult, but gets taken down by Mickman. The slow-moving target. Easy for the Pharah to deal with here. As we see Morlock trying to anchor it down on point. Mickman takes down Fern. Morlock's low. Fern's no support. Means Axe drops. Vivacity got the time bank under a minute. And Nadakado taking down Marcus. Don't think anyone's going to be able to touch. No, Morlock dies as well. And Wink able to cap second point. Temper though trading kill on to Mickman. Not too shabby there to set up this hold on third point. See the engage from Eevee on the ball. Axe not really too bothered about it. Pulse bomb this time doesn't stick from Temper. We see Mickman over the top trying to get that damage spammed in. We see Kitsune from Saint, meaning the aggression comes in. Nadakado takes down Marcus, which means primary hit scan is out of the fight, leaving Mickman pretty open to get some damage. As we head closer to this last stretch of third point. Eevee on the aggression. Nadakado with the ult. The Malga ult comes out just to zone them off. Barrage comes in and gets Temper. Eevee zones out the Axe ult, but does drop to Fern in doing so, meaning no tank. Kitsune rush Marcus. Low on that Cassidy. Fern keeps them alive. As Vivacity once again get that time bank down under a minute. Still have the Morlock beat online. No ults for Wink after that last fight. Meaning Marcus and Temper will likely be the first to build theirs up outside of Morlock. Temper able to contest from that off angle. Now the aggressive beat engage gets Nadakado down. Zone Eevee off the point. Mickman opting to back out. They've got 10 seconds. They need someone to be able to touch. There's a Axe in the backline harassing the supports. Fern dropped. Mickman taking them down. Eevee now has to roll out to get to point. Takes down Axe as well. But the boot comes in from Morlock to zone them away. And Vivacity able to hold just before that last stretch of third point. Gets a golden box victory for them. And overall, after a very, very shaky start on first point, I don't think that's a bad outcome for Vivacity here. We will say this is where the card got. We will wait and see exactly where that golden box victory is. There it is. So this is exactly how far Vivacity do now need to push if they want to win this map and go up 2-0 on the series, putting themselves into a match point scenario. Absolutely love to see it.
Five, four, three, two, one. Attackers incoming.
So, Vivacity now on the attack. Marcus still on the Emre. Temper still on the Tracer here. Wink still running that ball comp that we've seen from them. Do have Mickman on the Pharahs. Vivacity able to zone out and get around that first corner at least for it now. Second corner coming in soon. Axe Dealing with a slam from EV. Mickman gets the spam damage in onto Morlock, though. No Lucio available for the Vivacity roster as they try to get these rotations set up. Temper able to combat the damage from Marcus. Does get booped off by EV, but Nadekado was dropped first. Axe in pretty deep here. Not able to escape that far damage. Temper does take down Saint X. Fern traded by Mickman, though, who is low. Does have to be careful here on the Farah. Temper able to back up. Vivacity slowly taking more of the point. Slam in onto Marcus. That drops them after some follow-up damage from Nadekado. But it's going to be difficult here. Cross angles set up. Farah spam coming in is proving a menace. Marcus, though, is on the Reaper. Fern takes down Mickman. They engage from Vivacity onto that high ground. Takes down Navilia as well. Evie low. Marcus from objective able to take them down. You see the engage from Axe. Trying to make sure the re-engage not possible for Wink. And they do just that. Sleep does come in, but Axe won't care because they capped the first point. Let's see. Can the rotations get there in time to set Vivacity up coming in to this next map? Pulse bomb out. No. Suzu from Saint X. There's the nano onto Mickman. Takes down Axe and Fern, who tried to come in as well. Nanoed Farah. Proving a menace, but Marcus takes him down on the Reaper. Even in the skies, you are not safe from the Reaper guy. Death comes to all. There is the Mauga Cage coming in. This is why I don't do observing. Having little DMs come in from head of the org telling me how to get rid of the card. That's cute. Can't believe I didn't know how that worked. Here we go. Axe on point. Marcus on the Reaper. Slam comes in. They're low. Here's the overclock from Nadekado, but it's matched by a beat from Morlock. Kiri force low. Morlock takes down Navilia. Axe finds Saint X. After the damage from Marcus, Nadekado does finally take down Fern, but now have a Reaper in their face. Death Blossom takes down Evie. Mickman does trade Marcus, but Vivacity take down Mickman. It's now just Nadekado having to try and slide in and contest. Payload reaches the objective and into third point with a full 4 minutes on the clock goes Vivacity. Temper only out online is the post bomb. Gets the stick. Doesn't quite. Never mind. Onto Navilia. That one was close. Waiting for the blinks to set back up as they now come back in. Low is Axe, but surviving. Never mind. The nade enough to take them down. Saint X takes down Fern. Temper does get an exit frag onto Saint X, though. And Mickman. Meaning the reset will come out. Wink. Holding aggressive with EV now on the Sigma. Have Nadekado up on the bridge. Morlock there to zone them out now is Marcus on the Reaper. Making their way up here off of the off angle. Mickman on the Farah rotating out. Vivacity slightly struggling. Nade out. Mickman in. Axe finds Navilia. Barrage onto Axe. Does take them down, but Temper took down both supports in that back line. Mickman is low, but Nadekado able to do enough damage to keep their teammate alive and allow Wink to win that fight. So locking it down here on third point are Wink. as we now see. What can Vivacity do to get that engaged? Marcus forced to race out already. Now, can they re-engage? The nano out. And the overclock from Nadekado. That's going to be a lot of damage. And too much for Vivacity to deal with. Axe does take them out. I mean, it was some kunai from Fern. Nothing more than an exit frag, though. And I'm sure Nadekado will be back. Vivacity, though, did burn 2 ults in that fight. Graphitic Flux still online. And close to Saint X's Kitsune Rush. It's proving difficult here on this last point for Vivacity to take the space they need. McMahon looking to fly up over the top and keep that off angle alive, and Fern drops immediately upon hitting the Kitsune. Now the beat engage. Axe does take down Saint X, though. Gets slept in the middle of this fight. It's a bit of chaos. Marcus and Temper, though, finding their opposing DPS, and Marcus now takes down Navilia. Eevee drops as well, and now Vivacity starting to take the ascendancy here. Temper playing up to harass. Marcus with the Death Blossom online. Health one comes out from Temper, takes down McMahon immediately. Cage comes out. Here's the grasp. No one able to touch. Death Blossom is the icing on the cake. And there we go. After I have to get taught how to observe properly by my Orgone, we get a good map and another Vivacity win. Nadekado this time, though, with the play of the game, taking down Axe, takes down Morlock, takes down Fern. Pretty simple play of the game, but no complaints there. So, 2-0 go Vivacity on the series, putting themselves in a match point scenario. Corny Farah indeed. Corny Farah indeed. But Farah proving to not be enough to deny the Vivacity comp entirely here. Malga Supremacy still there. Once again, thank you everyone in the chat for joining us. Remember to follow us on all social medias. I'm going to keep doing social media shout outs. The more that CK gifts subs. Because for anyone that is unaware, our top gifter, CK Pineapple, with 30 gifted subs to the channel, is also our social media manager. So the more they gift, the more I feel obliged to mention that you should follow us on all of our social medias to see the things that CK helps manage for us. That being at VivacityOW on Twitter, at Vivacity_esports on YouTube for all of the VODs of these matches, so you can laugh even more at my slightly questionable skills as an observer. And then remember to also follow us on our Twitch here to watch more of our Masters Division team matches. Reminder, I've held it upon myself at least until I go on holiday, which isn't for a while, and I think the season ends before then. I can't remember, but hoping to cover every single match of this Masters Division flagship roster before I have to hand over to someone else. And in the meantime, we are hoping that we will be able to, at some point, hopefully, we're bringing in more people to help me out, some actual producers and observers as well, and then they will be able to help run the broadcast and help us with that additional manpower, cover more of the matches from some of the other incredible teams under the banner of this org, including the likes of Cajun's Velocity roster, and anyway, I'm terrible with names. I know we have more. But I will admit, I don't remember names. That's almost entirely on me. So, I'm going to take a quick look. We have Vivacity. We have Valiant. Don't think they're still a team. We do have Velocity. It's Venom? Vaporeon? Well, you know what? Follow us on social media. I think we did announcements of all of the teams we do have. So there you go. That's a good reason to follow us on socials, because our novice broadcaster doesn't know what teams we do and don't have. Now, can confirm, third map is in. It's an interesting one. We're heading to Numbani. Don't know how to feel about this. Personally, I dislike the map. But, should be interesting, because I don't think we have seen any Numbani play so far this season. So we're getting something new at least. Which is cool. Oh, I didn't mean to say that they banned Wu Yang again. They didn't ban Wu Yang. They banned Winston. There we go. Let's watch. Oh, monkey. Monkey jump scare. There we go. Winston banned on Numbani. Axe and the rest of the Faceit team deciding they don't want to deal with those bubbles anymore. But Wink, with their first pick, did ban the Lucio heading in to Numbani. Oh, let's head over, see what Vivacity on this first defense can do. It's Eevee back on the ball for Wink. Mickman on the Genji. And that's a hero you don't see every day. Fern on the BAP. Axe able to get in there and survive. Gets back to the Mega in time. Woo! Fern is low, but everyone's still alive for Vivacity, meaning they have locked it down for it now. Eevee trying to harass on the backline, but Temper doing a good job of marking them out on the Tracer so far here. Genji engaged, tries to come in. They're harassing Morlock, who's on the Kiriko, and they take them down. Temper did trade it for a kill onto Mickman, but the nade came in. Gets Axe low, has to rotate out for the Mega, as we now see Wink rotating back on to the objective here. Eevee harassing Fern in the backline. Slam comes in. Immortality Field has to keep themselves alive, but they get booped out of it straight away, and Eevee takes them down. Temper does trade it back, though, getting rid of them, and Marcus takes down Natakado as Axe finds Mickman. The Ana of Navilia stuck underneath, nades themselves and able to back out. Vasti locking it down longer here. Thank you, Chi, for correcting me on not remembering which teams were still active. TP out from Morlock. Keeps them alive off of the slam engage from Fern. Now we see the ult from Saint X. Marcus still taking down Navilia, though, and Mickman still low. Awesome from Marcus. Clears the minefield mostly from Eevee, but Temper, Saint X drops. Morlock drops. Axe does clean it up, and Marcus there with them, meaning after a heavy ult investment from both teams, it is Vasti still on top. There will be 2 DPS ults coming into this one for Wink. One of them being the Sojourn is here on the off angle. Pulse Bomb on line for Temper. Has to be careful not to get caught out there. Navilia with them as well. The Nano Blade out here. Where is it? It's stuck in the cage, but it does take down Axe, and Avocado took down Fern, who had swapped over. Objective now getting captured. Marcus with an exit frag onto Saint X before getting themselves taken out here, and that will be a cap for Wink.
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
CK, thank you for the raid as well. Welcome, welcome. Someone do a slash shout out, whatever it is. Morlock! Woo! Kunai headshot takes down Mickman on the Farah. Now the engage from Axe, zoning Wink all the way back into their spawn. Morlock again with the kunai headshot. The main support is popping off here on the Kiriko. Hitting the kunai. Oh, that's what we like to see. Temper finding Saint X as well, by the way. So, Vivacity finding another choke point for themselves to lock it down on right now. Nade out. Immediately met with a Suzu. Now Naricado with the overclock, looking to try and burn through Axe. Marcuso on Mickman in the backline, forcing Wink back into spawn. Eevee having to roll all the way out as well. So once more Vivacity locking it down. Marcus does get caught by that Bartic nade, but it's not enough to take them out of the fight. Marcus has the Death Blossom. There's the Kitsune mirror from both sides. Mickman drop. Temper with the recall keeps themselves alive. Slam in from Eevee. Doesn't get much there. Mickman now trying to match the Reaper guy. Wow, wow, wow. Eevee rolling out. Going to be looking for a place to get this minefield off. Wonder where the Nano will come in. There's the minefield. Zoned out from Axe, who now hits the cage. Nano onto Mickman. Death Blossom comes out, takes down Eevee. Mickman low as well. Temper then goes in and finds Navilia. Axe cleaning it up here as Vivacity get a nice team wipe. Lots of ult investment there, though. No ults currently online for Wink, but there were 4 ults, or 3 ults in that fight, 1 in the fight before, so we're running low. Let's see. Can Vivacity lock it down here? Eevee now on the Zarya. Axe low. Mickman burning through the Malga health pool here. Morlock does find Saint X, but gets taken down in the end. Marcus TPing back to point. We've got it into overtime. Temper takes down Navilia. It's Marcus and Temper left on point. Not going to be enough to win, but Vivacity have now set themselves up in a last fight territory. Mickman and Nadicado, though, do have both of their ults online. So a lot of damage sure to be coming out in this next fight, and with the bubbles from Eevee, they should be able to keep them alive. So Saint X TPing over to B with Nadicado on this off angle. Vivacity rotating through, trying to get on the point. Nade out. Navilia low. Axe gets that first kill. Overclock invested. Can't find any kills yet for Wink, but they are still pushing the objective. Now Death Blossom comes out from Mickman, takes down Axe. Marcus drops. Temper finds Saint X. Fern takes down Mickman. Both supports. Ooh, Morlock though taken down. Fern trying to survive with Temper on the objective. They need to take down Eevee, but Eevee not going to drop that soon. And Navilia back on the cat keeps their tank alive and allows them to cap second. It went all the way to overtime, but in the end it was Wink able to win enough fights. So can Vivacity hold on third point here again, just like they did on Rialto, to set themselves up with that golden box of victory for the map win? There is the nade in, the hard engage. Temper with the pulse bomb finds 2. Grav came out from Eevee, finds 4 though. And now Axe trying to deal with the rest of Wink on their own. Does have the Kitsune Rush, but it's not going to be enough as Wink get the team kill off the back of the huge grab there from Eevee. So with Morlock already investing the Suzu onto Axe early. Temper now on the Bastion. So as we head into overtime, a lot of damage on line. We've got a Bastion Reaper duel. Saint X TP's out. Bastion engage. Mickman racing out. There is the bubble onto them. Now we see the ult, but it's not enough. Wink still winning. Nadakado sliding around to keep themselves alive. Fern does get an exit frag onto Saint X. Does keep Marcus alive a little bit longer, who can now stall out on point, but they're dead. No one else from Vivacity quite there in time to touch. And Wink do manage to get the full cap here. Vivacity getting it into overtime on multiple occasions, but just not quite able to secure those holds for long enough to burn the overtime wick out entirely.
Ready for battle.
So no real golden box of victory yet on this map for Vivacity. They will have to push all the way through the 3 points of Numbani if they want to take this series in a clean 3-0 sweep. So, only swap from Vivacity is Morlock over to the Juno. Currently, no swaps off of what captured third point for Wink. Vivacity rotating underneath here. Marcus with the TP in. Suzu invested to keep Nanakado alive. Axe getting burnt here on the rotation. Mickman is low themselves. Vivacity have somewhat flipped the map here. TP out. Mickman the first to drop though. Saint X, no TP. Means they have to keep climbing to play safe. Nade comes out. Point capture coming in from Temper. And Marcus now locking it down. Morlock finds Navilia. So the Wrecking Ball of Eevee comes in to try and contest. But Marcus is marking the point. Now Vivacity entirely locked on the objective. Saint X somewhat stuck in that back line off of the point flip. Eevee comes in to try and help them out. Nadakado slides but can't escape. And Eevee drops as well. So Vivacity get the cap and start pushing straight off of that first fight. Yes, Savage, you are correct. They only have to full cap with over a minute to give themselves a true golden like first tick, but it's not, like I said, it's not quite there yet, but that's a good start. Capping first point, giving yourselves over 5 minutes on the time bank for second. Marcus though overstaying their welcome. Axe as well. So Vivacity trying to play the aggression game, do get zoned out. I have got through that initial harsh choke though, where they held Wink for so long, so the cart slightly further in already. As you now see Vivacity trying to take space once more. Nano out onto Migman. Does have the Death Blossom on the line. Does invest it. Finds Fern. Gets enough damage that Axe gets taken down. Goes in to find Morlock as well. Temper had tried to harass on the objective. Migman able to take them down as they try to escape. And now Wink looking to set themselves up a bit more aggressively here. Vivacity do have a lot of ults online. Axe running it straight down to point. Cage invested. Marcus takes down Migman. The nade hit, but it's not enough to kill them. Kitsune Rush was invested. Nadokado drops. Saint X is now on the Kiriko, stuck in the backline. Temper staggers them towards the end there. As we now see Vivacity making their way through here. Playing aggressively, denying the touch. Migman immediately burnt. Temper tracks them down as Axe is dealing with every other member of Wink. The Malga running it down successfully. As we now see Vivacity ticking their way into third point here. Temper harassing. Has Marcus there with them to a match. Ooh, nearly gets the one clip. Does get the melee to finish off Nadokado. And now Axe and the rest of Vivacity playing aggressive. They take down Nevelia as well. Temper going back to the objective to help get the cart progression. Marcus playing up aggressively. Saint X does have the Kitsune Rush and Eevee does have the grab, but Eevee is low already. Trying to burn through the tank. There's the Kitsune Rush. Marcus is low. Here comes the disengage from Vivacity. Temper does find Saint X. Marcus not able to escape with their life on this reset here. No ults online. Axe goes in. Grab on Fern. Axe takes down two with the help of Temper, but the backline does take a hit as Eevee finds Fern. Morlock opts for the reset here. And once again, no ults invested. The Nano Blossom, the Beyblade, is online for Wink here. We'll surely see that coming in to this next engagement as we have Migman trying to look for the off angle. Saint X low again though. And here we go. The Reaper coming into the backline, looking to burn through. Finds Marcus. The nade hits onto Axe, who then has to run away. So Vivacity not committing to this engage. Migman doing a good job on the Reaper guy here to hold them off. Still over 2 minutes on the time bank. Vivacity do have nearly 5 ults online, but they need to find a place to use them soon. As in the back that Morlock! Oh my god! C9 from Morlock. Even I missed it there. I was trying to figure out where the ult would come in. And wow, Morlock not able to play the Lucio after the ban. I'm sorry. I did. Everyone can see how slow I am at typing. I have to reach around my microphone in my current setup. That's my apologetics for when I try to type with 2 hands. Hi.
Five, four, three, two, one. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Okay, so Vivacity now, it's not quite a golden box of victory, but it's a golden tick of victory. They only need to get one tick on the objective to secure this. Marcus already zoning Saint X out, forcing the Suzu usage. Saint X does chase him down. Eevee finding the rest of the team. Temper gets the exit frag onto Saint X, though. Axe needs to die soon for the reset. Sleep out onto Temper. Temper harassing Navilia, being an absolute menace, does finally get themselves taken down. Texatron, shout out to you for noticing that. One of the other broadcasters also covering this match now. We see the re-engage. Marcus takes down Saint X before the Suzu can come out, so there's a huge chunk of the healing denied. Mickman drops to Marcus as well, who now TPs up aggressively, trying to take down Navilia. Nadakado drops. Marcus takes them out as well as Temper comes in to deal with Navilia. Eevee, with no one else alive, will drop, and Vivacity will take the map and take the series, keeping themselves atop this Masters Division Season 8. Who gets to play the game? It's not a Kato for Wink, so a little consolidation there. Able to lock the game down is Vivacity, though. So 3-0 on the season, or 3-0 on the series, sorry, brings them to 6-1 on the season. Kintsugi gotta be feeling pretty special at the moment. The only team to hand a defeat to our Vivacity roster so far this season is mightily impressive. Have a quick look at the scoreboards as we head. Hold on. Where is my Windows capture? Hello? Faceit.com. There we go. Here we are. Let's head over now to Faceit. Look at these scoreboards. You can see Marcus popping off on the Reaper guy. And then we see Marcus struggling a bit on the Reaper guy. And Temper popping off. Morlock doing their job. I gotta give a shout. I don't want to give. I mean, CK. Gifts again. Oh my god! Thank you. Huge. Shout out to all of our social medias. Marcus again popping off on the Reaper guy with that damage and Elims. Temper doing a good job on the Tracers, you can see. Axe just consistently doing Axe things for every map. I think play of the night is easily Morlock with that C9 back cap to set them up for the win. But I think MVP of the night has to go to Marcus. The Reaper guy showed up in full force and showed a bit of flexibility tonight, showing they're not just a one trick. They're a specialist, guys. It's not a one trick. They're just a specialist. But thank you, everyone. Thank you for following us. Huge shout outs to the team. Let's have a quick look. Where does that put them in the league? Oh, look at that. Hey, everyone. Stop the count. 6-1. They've played a lot of matches, and they're first in the division. They're top of the division. I mean, the Fallen are popping off. They are currently 5-0. But Little Ducks have lost 2 games. Vivacity is 6-1. They're doing incredible. This is brilliant. What a debut season in Masters Division this has been. Right. While we have a look at this, I'm going to leave this up on screen. Because this is incredible. And I'm going to go and check to see who else is live. Because I don't believe I saw our good friend Bullskunk live. I did not indeed. So I will instead, although I don't know how much longer they're going to be live, but I'm going to make it their problem, and I'm going to go and raid Hunter over on his channel, Hunter Tane, and I will bid you all farewell. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. GG's Vivacity. Vivacity Supremacy, we are indeed on top. And I thank you for watching. And I hope you gave us a follow, and I hope you keep up with us. And I will bring you, hopefully, some incredible matches again the next time this team plays. So do keep an eye out for that. But for now, goodbye, and go have fun with our friend Hunter.